let's talk about stress. Let's talk about how on earth are we supposed to handle all the craziness that is coming our way throughout the day. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm a single mom of two, a preteen and a toddler. And there are times where I just want to just put my bags down and leave. But I can't, because who's going to take care of the babies? Who's going to pay the bills, right? Who's going to clean the house? Who's going to cook dinner? Who is going to bring the kids to the doctor's appointment? Who's going to go to work? Who's going to do all that? Moi. So here I am, being overwhelmed and stressed. But here's the thing, my loves. There are things that you can do to handle and minimize the level of stress throughout your day. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite tips that really helps me handle my level of stress throughout the day. How you doing? My name is Luisa. I am a single mom of two. I'm also a health and life coach. And my channel is all about helping women getting back in touch with themselves so that they can feel happy and balanced. All right, with no further ado, let's get into this video. My number one tip for you is to exercise. And by exercise, before you leave the video, let me tell you what I mean by exercise. By exercise, I mean doing a physical activity daily between 15 and 30 minutes. 15 and 30 minutes. That's not a lot. That's totally doable. Now, what is physical activity? For me, it's going to the gym and pumping those muscles. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably see me put some of my workouts out there, little reels of me working out. But for you, it might be yoga, it might be Pilates, it might be Zumba, it might be just dancing in your kitchen for 15 minutes, for 20 minutes with your kids and breaking a little bit of sweat, right? It could be a long walk or walking your dogs. Physical activity for non-stop for 15 to 30 minutes. What is this going to do to you? You have no idea how calming it is to the mind and to the body. By doing physical activity daily, you are lowering your level of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and you are increasing your level of endorphin, which is the feel-good hormone, relax hormone. Dude, if you start your day by doing this to yourself, you are setting yourself up for a nice and easy day. It's a lot harder to be frustrated and angry and overwhelmed when your endorphins are high up there and your cortisol are low. Now, that is my number one tip. Seriously. Now, let's move on to the second one. The second one is one that I wish I was more diligent doing it, but when I do it regularly, oh my gosh, it's so helpful. It's kind of like changing my lenses on life. It is gratitude journaling. It takes between 5 and 10 minutes every day. I only have the time to do that at night after the kids are asleep. I have about an hour and a half to myself before I go to bed. And that's when I like to sit down and write all the stuff that happened throughout the day that I am grateful for. It is particularly important to do it when you had a tough day, when you are so exhausted that all you want to do is lay down and cry and eat that bag of chips in front of a Netflix. Been there. That's when you need to take that journal and write what were you grateful for today. And even if it's just one insignificant thing, just write it down. And before you know it, you're going to find a second thing you were grateful for, and then the third thing you were grateful for. And what that does to your brain, it's completely changing the vision you have on your day. When before it was everything went wrong, suddenly it becomes, you know what, yes, it was a hard day, but I was able to accomplish the majority of my to-do list. I was able to feed the kids on time. They're in bed on time. They're not going to be tired tomorrow morning. They had a healthy meal. They had meat, veggies, carbs, a good dessert, and they're going to bed. Nobody's sick. There is no fever today. It changes everything from it's shit to, oh my gosh, actually it was not that bad. Yes, it was hard, but it was not that bad. And I did great there, I did great there, and I did great there. Now I will work on the rest, but today is over, tomorrow's another day. When I don't do that, I marinate in my doo-doo and it stinks, right? When I do the grateful journaling, my shit don't stink so much anymore. Does that make sense? So if you can take 5-10 minutes a day to write down in your journal everything that you're grateful for, especially on the hard days, it will change your lenses and you will feel a little bit better about yourself. That worked for me, so it's number 2 on my list. Before I go to the next tip, if you're enjoying the content of this video so far, feel free to leave a big thumbs up. If you have any tips that you would like to share with the community, feel free to put it down in the comment section. And if you want to see more of my video, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And if ever you are interested in some one-on-one coaching with me, feel free to send me a little email at luisa4bees@gmail.com. All right, let's go to the next tip. All right, tip number 3, practice mindful breathing. Okay, so this one I use in a very specific time. This is when I am super overwhelmed by whatever life is throwing at me. Let's say I'm in the kitchen, something is burning on the stove, but the toddler just hurt himself and he's crying and the dog is barking and the TV is loud, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. That's when I catch myself. I feel the tension in my body. I feel everything around me is going chaotic. I usually would grab the toddler, and with him, I would do a breathing exercise. I would inhale, hold it for a couple seconds, and exhale, but you want the exhale to be longer than the inhaling. And you will feel that as you're exhaling, your body starts to relax. And a tip for the moms who have, like me, a baby or a toddler, when you do that with them, you are teaching them how to regulate themselves. When they see you do it, they're going to do it with you. And they're going to learn how to calm themselves down. So that's something that I do when I'm in a moment of crisis and I'm about to lose it. I usually do it alone. I don't always, this example was with the baby, but you catch my thing. Like when I'm driving, for example, and I get there, I will do the breathing exercise. If you're at work and you're being stressed by your coworker or your boss, and you know what? You won't even look crazy because people are going to see that you are calming yourself down, and maybe they need to calm the fuck down too. Just saying. But that's a great one when you are in the middle of it, when you are extremely stressed and you really need to calm yourself down. But you need to be aware that right now you are stressed, right? So you need to make sure that you recognize that you are stressed at the moment. And then practice the mindful breathing. So that's for tip number 3. All right, my last tip for you is me time. I make sure that every week I take at least an hour, 30 minutes, an hour of me time, doing something that I like to do. I'm a crafty girl. I like to make stuff. I like to do crochet, embroidery, macrames. Those 2 macrames you see there are my creation. I have an example of embroidery that I did last summer. This is the last crochet project that I worked on. I've literally finished this one last night, and it's a little je sais pas comment, how do you call this, napperon in English, in French, I don't know how you call this in English, but you'll put like a picture on it or whatever. I always have a little project going on, right? And this is so important because it allows me to like zoom out, right? To empty my head a little bit, to focus on something that I like, and it makes space in my head and allows me to handle the craziness of life. So, and also what I really like about this is that on the days when I'm feeling down and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just always stretching myself so thin for everybody and I don't do anything for myself, I know that I have an activity that I'm looking forward to do that is me time, and that is something that I will enjoy, and that is so freaking important. So what is that for you? What is it that you like to do? Whether it's reading a book, painting, drawing, taking a long bath while watching a Netflix and having a nice mask on your face and a mask on your hair, and I don't know, what is it for you that you could be looking forward to having that me time where it's just you and good vibes. All right, my love, this is it for the tips that I practice and that I wanted to share with you. Of course, there are a lot of other tips out there, like meditation, for example. Meditation is an excellent way to handle stress. The only time I see meditation working for me is when I use guided meditation, and there's a few excellent guided meditation videos on YouTube. I'll let you do your research. Now, if any of you want to share your tips on how you handle your stress on a day-to-day, feel free to put it in the comment section down below. It really helps the community and I love to read them. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to share with a friend if you think it can help her in her journey, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. Alright, my love, I will see you very soon with a new video. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, have a beautiful life. Au revoir et à bientôt.
Hey, c'est la vie.